Let's go down to Kokomo.
Day 121. Saturday, the 13th of February. At sea. So it's been a couple of days since I gave up chicken and rice for Lent, and so far so good. I have eaten copious amounts of choco zucaritas con malvaviscos, but as dice school requires me to pull my uniform on early each morning, I've turned it into a benefit and enjoyed lunch in the guests' garden cafe most days to add some variety to my diet. Yesterday, I had some kind of nice beef and noodles dish with Cajun fried cauliflower and salad, which I drenched in vinegar. And yes, that's not a typo for vinaigrette dressing. I actually poured malt vinegar all over my meal. I couldn't believe it when I found actual malt vinegar a few days ago. I adore the stuff. And as the skinny French fries that get served here don't soak up adequate quantities, I poured it all over my shredded carrots, cucumber, and undetermined meat. It actually tasted really good, and is a refreshing change from slathering sweet chili sauce all over the ubiquitous boiled rice and plain chicken. The other benefit of the garden cafe, of course, is there's always the ice cream counter to plunder for afters, where you have access to unlimited amounts of whippy ice cream, chocolate and butterscotch sauce, and rainbow sprinkles. Man, I love freestyle cruising. The child in me never gets enough of sweet treats like this. In the evenings, I've mostly been fairly full from lunch, so a few bowls of my exotic chocolate cereal usually suffice, with an extra cup or two before bed. The roof of my mouth had fallen victim to this delicious, if not nutritious snack though. As eaten dry, they tear at the flesh in my mouth mercilessly, so I'm trying to have a day off them today to give the wounds a chance to heal. I'm so addicted, I had to leave the remainder of the packet in a friend's cabin to stop myself from self-harming my poor mouth. Plus, unless I find some in New Orleans tomorrow, I have to eke out the remainder to last until Cozumel on Tuesday. The uncovering of the vinegar came a little too late as far as my rash was concerned, unfortunately. According to Google, God love that site, the sexy red pattern on my leg is due to a brush with some fire coral. Now, as I've since found out from some top diving websites, fire coral isn't actually coral, but some kind of living organism that looks like coral, but fires poisonous microspines into anything that touches it. These deadly spines paralyse plankton and such like for the animal to feed on. As far as my leg goes, I should have put vinegar on it immediately to counteract the reaction, but 2 weeks later it's next to useless. The embossed red tattoo could last for a very, very long time, according to some people's posts, and topical cortisone ointment is suggested as my best bet. Looks like I'm going to be scarred for a while then, as that was what I was already putting on it. Still, at least I didn't read about gruesome amputations and such like. Dice school had been continuing in earnest, yet last night I got thrown into the deep end without any kind of flotation device. Having asked if I could observe the experienced professional Dice 7 dealers, the highest level you can achieve, on a quiet game, the next thing I know, I've a stick in my hand and everyone looking at me expectantly, waiting for me to call out and run the game. I have never in my life found talking and doing at the same time so hard. My tiny brain was taxed to the max, and for the first time ever, I was sweating buckets in the normally Arctic casino. The players were very understanding and patient with me, and my fellow base dealers and boxman stopped me from disappearing under the water completely. There are so many things to remember and tasks to perform simultaneously that I can only liken it to trying to land an aeroplane after watching just 6 episodes of Air Crash Investigation. You've absolutely no idea what to do. You've never handled the controls before, and although you've got a couple of co-pilots and a mechanic to hand, they're all busy performing tasks too. And you've got a plane load of real live passengers to worry about. Admittedly, it was hardly like I'd been asked to drive an A380, but this was still a small regional jet with paying guests. I was so busy trying to keep the wings level and the speed good that I forget about keeping the pitch right and the nose up. Then I had to remember to radio the tower to ask for permission to land, whilst trying to keep an eye on the altitude without overshooting the runway. When someone asked me about the ailerons and setting the flaps to 45 degrees, it was like they were talking in a foreign language. Somewhere in the dark recesses of my mind, I remembered hearing those words in one of the episodes, but for the life of me, I couldn't recall what the hell I was supposed to do. All I wanted was to crawl under the seat and hide until the impact with the ground put me out of my misery. In hindsight, it was kind of fun, /scary, /horrific, and awesome all at the same time. An adrenaline rush, like when your rein snaps halfway up the canter. When you eventually manage to stop, mostly unscathed, the relief is palpable. And although you never want to experience it again, there's 5% of you that love the buzz. And that's all for day 121. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in to day 122's antics tomorrow. Same time, same place. Well, not literally, because this ship never stops. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a day. And if you're enjoying it, like and share it too. Thank you!